Hello! So, welcome to your sew along. This is officially the second sew along. So, thank you for being here. And today, I'm going to introduce you to the 3 designs to choose from. So, you have the weekend to think about them and let me know which one you would prefer to be seeing made on video. The one I will make. Okay, if you're new here, I just wanted to say, don't worry, because I'm going to explain a little bit about the process. And I think for everyone, it's a good thing to just kind of go through some of the stages and what to expect in the sew along, especially if you couldn't maybe participate on the first one. So let's just go through it. So I'm not going to show you the design just straight away. Basically the sew along is, you know, the active part of the membership where we get to kind of go through all those important steps in dressmaking. And the last thing that we did was a woven garment. We did the hinterland. It's all available to watch on replay. So if you've missed it or if you're halfway through it, it's all there and you can just continue working with it. And now we're heading to somewhere stretchy. So we're talking like probably a good proportion of your wardrobe being made of stretch, and I know that a lot of people in the group never sewn stretch before or have attempted a couple of times. Stretch is really not as hard as it sounds, and once you got the feel of it, it's so handy to know how to sew stretch because so many of our basics are made of stretchy fabric, right? So this is where we're heading, and I'm also, you'll see, but you know, I chose garments that are quite quick to make, so we can have a little bit more fun with the fabric, choosing time choosing fabric, and focus like quite specifically on techniques. But in terms of construction, the garment will come together really quickly. Okay, so where are we heading? Before you ask, I mean, if you ask, it's fine. But yes, your machine can sew stretch. So this is for everyone in the group. So if you have a basic sewing machine, I mean, as long as there's a zigzag, your machine will be able to sew stretch. Now, hopefully, your machine has a little bit more option than just the basic zigzag. But there really shouldn't be a reason. I mean, you should all be able to participate in this. So your basic machine can sew stretch. We will look at the things you need to adjust the tools that you need for it, but it's not today. Today it's all about choosing the design. So, but I will cover that. Of course, some people will have overlockers, which are useful for woven and stretchy garment. So if you have one, great, you can use that. Some people will have cover stitch machine, which is very specific to sewing with stretch. And I won't be covering that because I don't have one. But if anybody wants to give a cover stitch tour, let me know because I think that could be great fun actually. Anyway, so we will be using a basic machine, and I will use this time to show you some overlock stuff as well. So there we go. Next step. I've got a slightly tricky. Okay, so the process of the sew along. First phase is the preparation. Second phase is the sewing. The third phase is all about extending the life beyond making it once. So what can we do to make it slightly different, improve the fit, or mending skills or upcycling skills. Now, every time you go to a new territory, some of those points that I'm making here might come a little bit stronger. Last time we actually spent a lot of time on fit, as well as there was a lot of construction because the garment had many steps. You know, we had sleeves, we had darts, we had pockets, we had bias binding. I mean, it was epic. And a great way to build loads of resources in the membership. This time construction is going to be lighter. Okay, let's just go through. I've highlighted some of the points that I think are going to come quite strong in this sew along. And thank you, by the way, for everybody who emailed me and with the things that you're looking forward to learn, because that's basically been really helpful. So first, in phase 1, I mean, obviously we're going to choose the design and we're going to spend a little bit of time on that, but it's going to be quite a quick decision, I think, because we're going to work with some quite basic, basic elements in the wardrobe, good basics. Fabric knowledge, though, is going to be really important and I think really interesting if you want to nerd out on stretchy fabric. No, but honestly, I think, there's a little bit of technicality and a few things that will help you making good decisions about fabric. So we will have a week dedicated to fabric. Of course, then we'll go through the, picking a size, potentially preempting fitting issues. But the next, I think, big phase is going to be cutting confidence. What can we do to make our life easy, the few things that you need to change when cutting stretch. And then we're going to move on to putting our garment together. Again, construction wise, they aren't going to be like big hoo-ha. I mean, it'll be a big hoo-ha, but it'll be quite quick. But an opportunity to then kind of look closer at the knit specific sewing techniques. So things like sewing a neckline band or using a twin needle. So yeah, specific to knits basically. And then I'd be really interested to know what you think about the third phase. Is it going to be pattern hacking? Is it going to be fitting issues? I mean, I think we'll gauge that throughout the sew along. But if you have any specific ideas, I'd love to hear them. But I'll be quizzing you as well as we get nearer to it. Okay, so just before we dive into the design specific, I'm just going to give you some quick reminders of how to make the most of the sew along. And so, especially if you haven't had the chance maybe to participate in all of it last time, or if you're new to here, but just a good chance now to just go through it. So I'm going to be delivering the prompts weekly. This is what we did last time. It worked really well. When I've asked people, are you happy for me to carry on weekly, or do you want more spaced out in bigger chunks? Weekly definitely is the winner. The reason being that it gives you really digestible chunks of action. Now, it doesn't mean that you will have to, it doesn't mean that you have to complete your work within the week in order to watch the next step. In fact, it's really difficult to have that, to follow along consistently every week. But what I wanted to say is, if you're watching on replay, if you're keeping it all for a rainy weekend or some leave in the diary or whatever, I would encourage you to continue, to work your way through the prompts rather than jumping around. But always work at your pace. If it takes you, if it takes you 3 weeks to get to it, just know that everything is delivered in small chunks, and then working your way through the sew along won't actually take you that long. So that was just a little help. And also, last thing I wanted to say, kind of using the previous experience, I had a couple of people saying, I messaging me and saying that they struggle to sew at the moment for whatever reason, but they don't want to fall behind, and so there's a conflict here. And what I say, and this is what I do, because we all have things that we have the best intentions to participate in, but obviously life happens and we can't keep up, but we want to stay in a loop. So what I do then personally is I do, I don't know if that's a proper word, but I say conditioning. So it's like getting mentally ready for it, for something that I don't actually have the physical space or the physical time to action. I just listen, or in this case, I would probably just watch the video, while I'm cooking, not actually while I have got my machine out. Do you see what I mean? So what you do is just you listening in, and what happens is that in the background, the tasks start to organize themselves in your head. It gives you an idea of what's coming ahead. It gives you an idea of how much time and how much physical space, how much physical time you will need to do this. And maybe what seems like a lot of, oh my God, I've missed so many weeks, I'm never going to be able to catch up. If you hear it and you've seen it and you're like, oh yeah, but in reality, this is only going to take me, an afternoon, to do those 3 things, then it kind of puts the pressure down. So you may be doing this already. But it's something that has come across during the last so long, and I just wanted to say it for the whole group in case that's helpful. Okay, so that's what I call conditioning. I definitely signed up to Yoga with Adriene, 30 days of yoga in January. We are now nearly February, and I'm on day 2. But I always have the next tab loaded up on my computer so I know what's coming, and when I get there, I'll get there. So, what else? Don't stay stuck. Of course, don't stay, if you have a problem, if you don't understand something, if you need clarification, if you need more direction, if I miss something, ask for help, no matter how small the hurdle is, because I know you might be thinking, oh, I bet it's really silly and I don't know if I should ask, but just ask, because I'll be happy to help you. And if you ask for help and I sent you down one path, but you got stuck down that path, ask for help again. Okay? Don't stay stuck, because it's really difficult for me to know that you are actually in a dead end or, whatever. But if you want to get out of it and you want some help, then ask for help, okay? Don't stay stuck. Okay, and of course, use the resources. We've got a whole Basecamp. We've got the toolbox. So, there's already resources in there. I will be pointing you to I will be pointing the right resources at the right time. So when we go, when I say choose the size based on your measurement, I will say go to the Basecamp if you haven't seen it yet and look at how to take your measurements. It's all in there. So don't worry, I will be flagging the right resources at the right time, but just in case you needed a little reminder, and you can always make requests. Okay. And finally, share your progress. We have a lovely, we have a Facebook group, we've got a WhatsApp group, and I don't know, if you posted anything in the last, it's a really good, it's a really good way to get a boost. Everybody, you'll get your cheering crowd. But, and also I nearly wrote process, because sometimes I think process doesn't feel like progress, but it is. So, don't feel like you have to, you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to show that you've sewn something in order to celebrate whatever is your win. If you're super proud that you've ordered, you finally, managed to tile your pattern or print your pattern, or just got over one little hurdle, celebrate it. And also it's, the rest of the group learns from it. So by any means, it'll be lovely if you use the group to share your progress. Okay. So we're going to get to this design. Okay, sorry, it was a little bit long, but I just wanted to give everybody a good introduction. So I'm going to show you the 3 designs that I chose. I basically make the selection based on our quarterly theme, on the size range available from the companies. We have a group of different people, different sizes, so trying to address as many, trying to choose patterns with a good size range. Learning opportunities, so I will choose design based on, you know, what there is to learn, because obviously my interest is to get as much, to get as much information to you as possible, and mixed level of opportunities. So there's hopefully, you know, you can approach this from a beginner level, but as well as someone who's made a few garments. So, oh yes. So, and then over to you. You're going to make the decision based on your favorite style and the size option. Although there's always going to be alternatives, whatever the style we choose, and I will encourage you to also do this by reading the style line. So I'll explain that a little bit more, and the size chart. Okay. So on this sew along, I said it before, we're going to be sewing a stretch garment. So these are the editorial lines. So it's got to be stretch. Okay. I wanted something that is a good wardrobe builder, something that is pretty versatile. So basically a good basic, because that's kind of like what most of our stretch garments are. We have a lot of basics in our, you know, like long sleeve t-shirts, the leggings, that kind of stuff. And really once you cracked how to do those yourself, then it's really, you know, it's a great winner. And, I've also been on the look for patterns that had enough interesting things to learn from a sewing stretch perspective. So definitely I wanted like neckline bands and twin needle hemming. So there's like different things for you to test out during your sew along, and a few new things to discover. Ta-da! And without warning, 3 garments to choose from. So let me explain. We've got the Hemlock tee from Grainline Studio. We've got the Kezia turtleneck from Made My Wardrobe. And we've got the Concord t-shirt from Cashmerette. So I've chose tops because remember that although I'm going to ask you to vote, you still get to do whichever you want. So obviously I needed something that across the board is generally like the same garment and has similar techniques. So I couldn't have like a pair of trousers and a t-shirt because they'll be completely different videos. So yes, this is the general line, and they're quite classic, they're good basics, they are things that they're all hackable, they're all transformable, probably endlessly, to be honest, but yeah, so here we are. And they're all quite, they're all accessible from a beginner's point of view, but they're not like made of really heavy sweater like that is maybe would lead you to use the easiest knit fabric, but none of them are difficult, okay? So let's go through each design now, just to give you a little bit more understanding of them. So, that doesn't work. So let's do this. Let's start with the Hemlock tee. So the Hemlock tee, sorry, it's all pixelated, their pictures, but it's maybe the more slouchy version, the more slouchy garment of the 3. It's from Grainline Studio, which are pretty, you know, pretty reliable from a fitting and draft perspective. So some of the specific, and so I said you'll be using your reading skills. I know it's always we're very drawn by the image and by the photography. It's very natural to do that, but remember to use the diagram as also your to read the cues and really understand what's going on in his garment. So one of the things that I would say, so you've got 3 versions, you've got 3 different lengths, and you have long sleeves and short sleeves. You've only got one type of neckline in here, so it's quite a wide scoop, I think. And one of the things that is particular about this garment is that it's got a drop shoulder. So you won't have a classic satin sleeve, okay? What you will have is a very easy straight seam because the sleeves attach much lower into the body. This results in a easy fitting garment, something that is quite boxy and, it doesn't have the articulation around the arm. Have a look online. So when you do your research, so use the hashtag here, the hemlock tee. There's so many people have made the hemlock tee. So I really recommend that you have a look. It'll give you a really good idea of what it looks like on different people, on different body, and in different fabric. Because that's the other thing about the Stretchy So Long is, we're going to have great fun looking for different fabrics. And I would say this one, you've got the scope of making it in something really slouchy, especially if you are maybe, you've sewn stretchy things before and you want to challenge yourself. You could go for something quite slinky. That would work. It would have obviously an effect on the fit, right? It will just collapse a bit more. Or you could make it out of something a little bit firmer and you have you'll retain a bit more structure. Have a look for it with the hashtag, but also I've put the link obviously in the description of after this video, so you can go straight to the website and see a little bit more about you can see it on different people with the different versions. This is this is an American pattern. It goes up to size 30. So I've put the maximum the bust size is up to 56 inches. And I said it could be turned into a dress because I've seen a really great dress version. So I was like, oh yeah, it could be turned into a dress. So yeah, very hackable, very, very perfect for, jeans, skirts, lounging around the home, putting under dungarees. I don't know. There's just many options. The second one is the Kezia turtleneck top from Made My Wardrobe. Made My Wardrobe is UK based, actually Bristol based, and it was the first garment I thought of. A turtleneck, really handy for putting underneath other garments. In fact, I thought it would look really nice under a sleeveless hinterland. But yeah, so this is another good basic, good wardrobe builder. Now, the pattern only comes with the turtleneck option, and I think only comes with the long sleeve. Now, we are very clever. And we know that we can turn a long sleeve into a 3/4 sleeve or into a short sleeve, and we can probably remove the turtleneck and turn it into a round neckline. So it's not provided in the pattern and it will require us to do the hacks. But we know that this pattern could lead to many other things, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, it's a satin sleeve. So you can see that from the drawing line. It's a satin sleeve. So it would, it would fit here. And it's not, it's close to the body, but it's not super fitted. It's not like, I don't know what's the word. suck to your body. No, it's not like that. It's sort of a semi-fitted top. Yeah. All right. Okay, so then I just wanted to say, this one only goes up to size 24. Size 24, the bust being 49.5 inches. If the Kezia turn into the winning style, I have a brilliant other pattern, which is same style, but that goes up to size 30, I think, or 32. Anyway, so we have, I'll have, you know, a wider size range covered with the same style. And then the last one is the Concord Tee from Cashmerette. And this, I mean, Cashmerette is known for its curvy fit and really good fit. I had Cashmerette patterns before in classes and they work really well. The thing about this pattern is that you have a lot of options, and I had specific requests for V-necks, so I thought I'd include that one in. But we have different necklines. So if you look at the design lines, we've got a V-neck, we've got scoop neck, we've got actually a higher round scoop. So we've got low scoop, which is the option at the bottom here. We've got a V-neck, and when we've got a high scoop. It's not like around the neck. It's just a high scoop. And then we've got 3 lengths. We've also got a curved hem. We've got a sleeve detail, if we wanted, like with a little tab, 3/4 length, short sleeve, long sleeve, and then we've got this crop version, which I think is the one she's wearing here, which is rather cute. So this pattern provides a lot. There's so many variations within, and the size range is 12 to 32. With the bust size going up to 60 to 62 inches, depending on the cup size. The thing about Cashmerette is that they offer different cup size. So yeah, basically this has a lot offered in. I just want to say it is a beginner pattern, although at first sight, Cashmerette pattern can be a little bit intimidating because of the different cups element and because there are so many variations, but nothing we can't do. So again, I've put a hashtag there. I just want to encourage you. We've done this on the previous so long, but really having a look on Instagram, using the hashtag is a good way of, you know, seeing the garments being made on different bodies. I have done the same for the other top, the Made My Wardrobe top, but it's very new. So there aren't many examples. So that's a little bit of, you know, we'll have to do the guesswork. Okay, so that's our free design. All good basics, all with twin needling, which is one of the things I definitely want to teach, all with some neckline band or some or the funnel neck being an interesting variation. So I think we've got it. So what do I want you to do? I want you this weekend to have a look into those designs. I'm sure you already have an idea of what you might prefer, but it's good to take a look a little bit closer, because sometimes the first one that we think is the one we like is not, we might turn around and be intrigued by another style. So just give them all a good look and then let me know which one you would like to do. I know I said that you should also use the size chart to check your measurement against the size chart. If you've done your sizes already, then definitely you can do that. Have a look. If you're not sure about your size, then don't worry, because all of them have a very quite inclusive, and I have second options for all of them anyway. So we can come to size later. But please vote. Please let me know which one you want me to make. I like them all, so no problem here. and I look forward to get started and answer some strategy things with you. So let me know.